Well, I have to say, you don't hear a lot from women in movies or media in general, and especially not women who are not white. So it's really important to get our stories out there, and it's really important that we tell our stories, you know, because especially people from the Middle East. So the general wash of the lights is this one? Or
You can say warmer. Are you all set as far as your music? Yeah,
To have the story of Arab Americans is challenging because those kind of stories weren't told, or I didn't see them. I didn't see myself in others' writing, nor did I feel a space for myself to be in theater, for instance.
My hopes is that there are no boundaries to how far the message can spread, and that everyone can benefit from the messages in our music.
What do the women say? And here is Leila Modizadeh.
You going where? Yeah, where is this place?
see that single star apart from all the rest to the far right?
That's so far. You couldn't find something closer?
I don't like it. I just don't like it. Why would anyone go to a place like that?
Tenure-track teaching job in the arts, bad economy, lost my savings in the crash. I took a teaching job in Texas, and it was very, very racist and homophobic and sexist, and it was hard to teach there. It was like a battle every day of ideas, so I thought, oh, it would be good to write a play about it.
My first day of class, with over 400 students satisfying the fine arts requirement.
Howdy, little lady. Who said you're from New York?
You didn't just call me little lady, did you? The problem was the fundamentalism and the conservatism came with a kind of arrogance to it and defensiveness, so they didn't really want to learn some things. And I felt bad. I thought maybe I'm the one being condescending, or I'm coming in with my big liberal ideas from the city, you know, and I had to question myself.
I dreamt I was at the bottom of the ocean with a tiny pipeline of air to the top. I dreamt I was in a coffin nailed shut. I dreamt I was in a closet with no doors or windows. I dreamt I was deep in the heart of Lubbock, Texas.
I needed some release from, because I was trying very hard to protect myself in that environment of Lubbock, Texas. I was trying to survive, so I had to pretend a lot and tiptoe around, not offend anyone. So Daisy's kind of like the alter ego or the devil within. Daisy can say things that I can't really say.
Oh, come on, suck it up already. Work is work, deal with it. Are you kidding? I thought you wanted me to get you out of here after that dog attack. That was a moment of weakness. I know where my chemo comes from. Besides, what kind of idiot would quit a job in this economy? This idiot!
In the play at the beginning, Daisy doesn't talk, then all of a sudden the dog starts to talk, then all of a sudden I've got my nightmares are getting worse. It's sort of this spiral down descent into hell until finally I just don't even know who I am anymore. This job is completely meaningless, and that's really how I felt. I felt that it was pretty dark. I felt like I went, wasted a lot of time and energy, and nothing really changed. I changed, but I don't know if I made any big difference there, and that was the real disappointment.
Long way from the Lone Star State.
Mysterious school marm of Minneapolis. Debka demon of Dearborn. Your falafel fantasy from Fresno. Baklava Bay of Biloxi have supernatural powers of reality warping and molecular manipulation.
With Zafira, I was trying to write what the story I wanted to tell. Behind that, of course, is all of my own philosophy and what I like to do, but I wasn't trying to break down a stereotype with that. I just wanted to tell a story and wanted it to be an interesting one and hope that in the middle of that, there's something that can come out of it. What I imagined was that there was some sort of a war in the United States that happened where Arab Americans were put into camps, into internment camps, similar to what happened to the Japanese Americans after World War II.
What religion are you, Miss Curry?
I really don't see how mine.
She's one of the towel heads. One of them that was behind attacking our country.
You need to watch your language. Let's have some order and stop quiet.
Some of the things that happened to her in the school have happened to me in my school. But of course, then I take it to the next level, what would happen if there's a war going on, and she has some reactionary people in the school community, you know, she would be the first line of people that would be taken out, the academics.
Now, one parent says she's afraid you may be trying to convert the students to your Muslim religion.
What? Convert students?
They say that you speak favorably about the Islamics.
If you must know, Mrs. Monroe, I'm Christian.
What?
Yes, I was raised Christian, Lebanese Christian.
And do the students know that?
Well, yes, I think I have mentioned it.
Vicky, if I were you, I would not speak about being Lebanese in your classroom.
She imagines herself as a superhero with olive oil that can do all of these wonderful things to save us and to heal us and to bring us together. And but in the end, I think she knows that that's not going to do anything, which is kind of the depressing part of how I feel a lot of times as an activist.
One of my superhuman powers is the ability to spit. I spit my image into a panoramic view that will hover above the horizon and sear itself into your vision so that whenever you look up, you will see me.
She's victorious, but she's homeless victorious in her own mind. So she isn't really victorious. You know, she thinks she is, she hopes she is, she keeps trying, but in the end she's not, she hasn't done anything.
It is Zaytun, the oil of the olive. It has been the secret weapon of all the prophets.
Again, want to be an activist in the way that turns people off, that's so obvious, you know, to tell a story that has a some sort of meaning to it, that helps people, that sheds light on the world and the wrongs that I see that are in the world, but not in a preachy way.
Zafira. Together, we will change the world.
So olive oil is the weapon of the god!
March 5th, 2007. Al-Mutanabbi Street. Al-Mutanabbi Street. Al-Mutanabbi Street.
This is an anthology of, I believe, they're all Iraqi women writing about the war in Iraq. What we need is more poetry and education, and so yes, it's absolutely a tribute to literature and the arts and the people who make them happen, and the people who support, and the people who are all part of this literary culture.
Separated poems search for one another, scaling limbs of bodies and debris.
Most people in America or in the United States think of Iraq, and all they can envision is, you know, destruction and war, torn streets. And while Al-Mutanabbi Street ends up that way, it wasn't always that way. And so this is about us preserving our culture and arts.
We carry babies on our backs, anticipating what will fall out of the sky. And when
these poems are not really about love, other than the love for home and the love for culture and the things that are taken away from us in the context of war.
When will the world have mercy on our children? We are not disposable. Thank you so much.
The message that I'd like to pass is that literature and our stories live on past our legacies. So in all that we do and in all movements and in all revolutions that we must never forget or leave out women's voices.
I was kind of hoping to pass a message to an Arab American audience really as well, to say that we do have some power and that we can come together and do something, and that the system is big and broken and it's kind of against us. However, despite all that, we have to keep going.
I want people to laugh at subjects that are very hard to think about. I think it's important to have a sense of humor about things that are hard to discuss, because a lot of those topics are triggers. So I guess I wanted people to be able to release some of their tension around their own prejudices.
Thank you so much for being here.